Blessings, y'all. The reason I'm making this video, my daughter contacted me the other day, like 2 days ago, telling me about Pastor Rufus being kicked out of Straightway, basically. So, to introduce myself, my name is Jamie. That's how everyone knows me down in Tennessee. But I helped start Georgia's Straightway with, at the time, was Brother Rufus. Now I see he's a pastor. There was one other brother as well. There was 3 of us that started down there. This was before we had the land from Dow. We had a house we rented down there. That was the house that Rufus was talking about in the video. And he was telling the truth. We weren't getting evicted from that place. We were doing fine. So just to clear the record with that. And since I've left Straightway, it was 9 years ago, 2015. January 1st, 2015 is when I left Straightway, the day I left. I went down there in, not sure when exactly, year was 2011 when we started down there. I'm not sure the month or whatever. When me and my family, my wife and 2 sons, moved down to Georgia. So basically, I haven't talked to nobody, Pastor Rufus, Dow, anybody affiliated with Straightway since the day I left. Nobody, not one. I had talked to a couple other brothers that had left around the same time as I did, or before, or whatever. I had talked to, I stayed in contact with a few. That's how I kind of put things together after I left. I'll explain as I go on what happened. My experience with Straightway. I'm not here for Pastor Rufus. No. I got much love for the man, but no, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for Ringo. No. I'm not here about Dow. That's not why I'm here either. The reason I came to share my experience with Straightway is for the people. So nobody has to go through what I went through. It's not right. It's wrong. I want to explain. I'll go as quick as I can make this video, but I want to explain from the time I got there, from the time I left, what happened, what I experienced through Straightway. I'm going to try to be quick, and I'm only going to hit on the bigger stories or the bigger experiences that I went through. And so you get an understanding of what actually living on the land is. Pastor Rufus never lived on the land. I did. Me and my family did for almost that whole time. We barely stayed any time in Georgia. This is how it went. We moved down there to Georgia. We all shared the house. We would go to Straightway on the Shabbats. And, Pastor knew that I'm good at building. Or, I got experience in it. I've done it my whole life. So I got skills in them areas or whatever. Well, once he seen how I was good at it, he sent for me and my family to move to Straightway. We weren't there very long. Maybe, I don't know exact time frames. I'm not really good at that part, but maybe a few months, couple months, something we stayed there. We weren't there long at all. All of our stuff stayed there. My car, everything that I brought, everything, my food supply, everything that I brought to Straightway, I was left there. Me and my family were to move to Straightway. This is under Dahl, his decision to move us there. So we moved there. I got all kinds of props at the beginning. I was the man, he gave me all kinds of, because I could build, and a lot of the other guys on the land didn't have them type of skills. They were more just labor guys. They didn't really know how to do, they didn't have experience in that kind of, them areas or whatever, like I did anyways. So I was put kind of above them in ranks or whatever. So it was like you're already putting me in spots and stuff like that where I felt uncomfortable in ways almost. So anyways, he would do preachings in the dining hall that people don't get to see off the land. This is to drag you down. Like he belittles you. You lose your voice. This happened over time though. This didn't happen right away because it's like they draw you in. He draws you in first. And when I'm talking about him. Nobody else unless I say it specifically in this video. Everything I'm directing towards is Tao, okay? Just to make that clear. So, anyways, he would have these preachings in the dining hall where he would talk about a brother. Sometimes he wouldn't call him out. Sometimes he would. He'd jump in your face and call you out and this and that. And it's there's no compassion. There's no love. It's beat you down, lose your voice. He controls everything you do, everything. Your family, what you get, how much money he gives you. Check this out. I had a family of four, mind you. A month, we would get $100. Now, mind you, we had to buy 4 meals with this because every Friday they didn't serve food in the dining hall. So you would have to supply 4 meals for yourself for the month. Any type of clothes, any products you need, anything like that came out of that money. That's what you had for a family of 4. That's what I got. $100 a month. Yeah. When I got there, he preached all things common. How I found out fast, that wasn't the case for everybody. Not at all. Definitely not for him. Definitely not for him. That's what I got to say about that. Definitely not for him. It's not all things common. No. That's a flat out lie, all things common. Maybe with everybody else, yes. With him, no. He was above us all. That's exactly how he treated us too. Yes. That's how you lose your voice over time. You don't see it, but everybody falls in line. So then you end up doing it yourself almost, where you lose your voice. You know, we got to the point where I would have other brothers coming over and, it was so discouraging a lot of the time that we'd make fun of it to, I guess, get through it. I don't know how else to say it. Like we called it Dow's World. I heard Rufus call him King Dow. We called him Dow. We had our names too. And it's because it's the truth. It's his way or there's no way. He takes everybody's voice away. I don't care, all the elders. There was no other pastor at that time that was that close with it. There was, but not that close to the fellowship, So there was mainly just elder at the time, elders or whatever. So, if I brought anything up, there was a feast, and I brought up, we were working on the feast, and this elder got pissed at me, like pissed. What are you talking to this brother? Why are you letting him feed? And it wasn't even about that brother. I read it in the book and I seen it and it said it. So I asked a question. His face looked like a tomato. He was so mad at me. I was like, whoa, guess I can't ask questions. I was surprised. I've never seen him get like that, so mad at me. Um, I'll be discredited over this video, I'm sure I will. Was I saying things behind the scenes about Dow? Yes, I was. Was I complaining some? Yes, I was. I lived right across from his trailer, exactly across. No, everybody else lives, away, whatever. At that time, there was a trailer right across the street from him, the little driver, whatever, and I lived right there. So I seen everything. I seen him come go. I see everything. It's loud. The chair, you can hear everything through the trailers. So you can tell when he's coming. You can everything. So it draws your attention sometimes. You would see the different things that he would get and be like, wow, I can't even afford soap, let alone a wine freezer or a wine refrigerator, whatever it is. Little comfy things that be chilling back when you go into his house and just look. Hey, take care of yourself, great, but all things common, I'm not seeing that. That's not what I seen at all. That's not what I experienced at all. Not at all. So, to move on, a little bit down the road, everything seemed to be pretty decent effort, for a while. And then what happened was he started preaching about the multiple wife thing. Okay? This is where it all started for me going bad, or, like it changed for me big time. Like big time. Everything changed for me. So he was preaching on it, over time and stuff like that. And I heard opinions of the men and all that, and I kind of already knew where a lot of them already stood and all that. So what I had talked to my wife about it, and so I wanted other opinions of the women, just to see what they would think, like that. So I had at this time I asked my wife, and I had asked I think 3 other women just what they thought about the multiple wives, and would they care to be in one, or that type of relationship or whatever. And so 4 women. So I was on the basketball court one day, and there was a sister over in the pavilion, and I seen her sitting there, and mind you, this is a married woman, and I'm married. Okay, so mind you, I started thinking about it. I was shooting hoops and stuff, and I was just chilling. And so I said, "Hey, sister," I'm not gonna call out her name. We don't need to do all that. Um, what do you think about, multiple wives and being in that type of relationship? Would you do it? And so she responded, and all I said was, "This was it. Okay, thank you. I was just curious." That was it. That was all I said. That was the whole conversation. I never got close to her. I was on the basketball court. She was over in a pavilion. We weren't even, I kind of not yelled to her, but like talked loudly so she could hear me. But we weren't even, no close, nothing like that. Not even close. So I'm not sure how much time after this. It was not shortly after, real soon. Could have been a week, 2. I'm not sure time frame. Time frame. She came. Me and my wife were at the trailer. She comes knocking at the door, comes in, and starts talking. We're just sitting there, and she's like, "I can't do this. She's she's my best friend, and I can't do that to her, and I can't do this." And started like saying a bunch of stuff like this, and then she just kind of like walked out, and she was talking to me, and I didn't know what to take of it at first. I literally, I'm not kidding you. I looked at my wife, and the first thing I said was, that was weird. Like I didn't understand what she was even talking about. Like I didn't get it. I didn't understand what she was referring to. Like I said, she's married at the time. Okay. So a feast came up. Me and my wife were getting into it because we found out this lady that I was talking to was getting a divorce from her husband. Okay? I didn't know this. I had no idea until they told us. Okay, so they were going over stuff. Well, this lady in Dow was going up to the tabernacle and having meetings. Well, they were bringing my wife. Well, something just in my spirit was getting like fed up over it after time, and I'm like, this don't feel right. Something just don't feel right to me. And so I told her, I don't want you a part of that no more. That's not our business. I want you to stay out of it. So that's not what happened. She's I don't know how much it happened that I know of, but I know it happened a few times. She started talking to Dow, my wife, behind my back. I don't know if Dow influenced this or what. What was going on was they were convincing my wife that I wanted this lady because I asked her that question that day in the pavilion. Mind you, I asked 4 other women the same question. 4. And this lady's married. So was I. I wanted her? What? Huh? She's a married woman. How could I want that woman? She's already taken by another man. It makes no sense to me or the whole situation. So, mind you, no one ever came to me over this. Ever. One time. Never. So, there was a feast day going on, and me and my wife got into it, and we were supposed to be in the tents. My wife left. She was gone for a while. So I went back to the trailer to see if she was there. So I sat there and waited and waited and waited and waited for a while. All of a sudden, she shows up with Dow. Just her and Dow. I was confused. Like, what the hell? This is like 11, 12 at night? Yeah. and he just didn't really say, he goes, I'm just going to go to bed. Because he could tell I was a little upset. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, so the next morning, so actually me and my wife, we started getting in an argument that night over, that and like, what's going on? Like, so the lady that she was involved with it, and I did say, I go, I hate that lady because she was like in our business. She was like, kind of like feeding my wife shit in her ear, tweet, 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 the Tweety Bird crap. And that's what was going on. And Dow was doing the same thing. I don't know for sure, so I can't say that it's hearsay out of my mouth. So, but that's what he was doing because there's other evidence I will tell you. And I know this is my side of the story, but there's other evidence that he was talking to my wife behind my back. I already told you one. So the next morning, he calls me out in front of his house, and I'm right up next door. I'm supposed to be sleeping in the tent, but I wasn't because we got into it and blah, blah, blah. Our tent got flooded. Anyways, whatever. So he called me out there and he apologized to me for talking to my wife without my knowledge. He said he thought I knew. How would I know that? That late at hour? 10, 11 o'clock at night, I know you're with my wife? How in the hell would I know that? I had no clue. Not one clue. So, sorry, you can go if you need. Sorry, I was talking to my son. um, but anyways, where was I? Okay, so he talked to me. That morning, told me he apologized for talking to her. He didn't know. And I was like, okay, I didn't really know what to say or how to take it. I didn't really know. So I just, okay, like, All right. Yeah, I trust you. I didn't know what to believe or what to think at the time. I didn't really understand a lot of what was going on at all. Because like I said, I didn't know about her telling Dow that I wanted her. She must have got it confused because I asked that question and told Dow that I wanted her. Or maybe she assumed that I was asking or something. I'm not sure. But she was totally confused. That's not my intent. That's not what was in my heart. Nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with that at all. It was just trying to figure out what was being preached, what everybody thought about it, how I even thought about it, because it was all being introduced. It was new to me. And when I came into this, I didn't even explain. I was babe. I didn't know much about spiritual. My talents were to help build, be supportive, be a good brother, just do my thing the best I could. I knew I wasn't no pastor, no teacher. I didn't have that qualifications, but I did for building. I did for, supporting and helping out. And I have a big heart, man, a big ass heart. And I care about souls. So that's what I got. I know for sure I do. No matter what any man says to me, I don't care. I don't need no man's approval. I learned that. Me and only me. That's who I need. That's it. That's what makes me happy. I found out. Anyways, back to my story. A testimony, however you want to say it. So things started going really bad there after that. My wife went and told this lady that I said I hated her. Because I was irritated, I was mad. She told her that, so I wasn't allowed to talk to her boys no more or nothing like that. And you could just feel the hostility, the energy on the land just wasn't good. Wasn't good at all. So I wanted to make right and, repent. So I went to Dow and I asked him if I could talk to her. I didn't even try to approach her. I went to Dow so he would be there because I wanted, to try to do right and just apologize and tell her, I didn't really mean that. It was out of anger and I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. It was wrong. It was wrong. Hate is not the way to go. And I didn't. I said it out of anger because a lot of stuff was being built up there, I guess. So she tore me up. She literally just told me I had a crappy heart, basically black. I need to check my heart and this and that. That's my true feelings. I wouldn't have said it. And the whole time he's just sitting here letting her talk to me, like just disrespecting me just as I apologizing to this lady. Tried to explain, I was sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Me and my wife were arguing. I apologize. And no compassion, no love, nothing. Just basically ripped me a new butthole. I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk like that, but just tore me up. Just tore me up. So I just sat there and ate it and didn't say a word. I just didn't know what to say anymore. I was like shocked. I didn't actually think that would happen. So tension got worse. How I said that he used to come talk to me, tell me what's going on with the brothers and him and the elder. I wasn't no elder, but he would tell me what's going on with the land during the day and stuff like that. And he would tell me if I had to tell the brothers what to do or this or that. Well, that changed. He'd come in and start telling another brother saying this, all these brothers are dragging down the job and ain't working hard and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And I was getting accused of, he wouldn't call in my name, but he was referring to me. It wasn't hard to figure it out. He quit coming to me, quit talking to me, and started basically just treating me like total dirt, like dirt. Then I heard preaching about a man wanting a married woman, and I didn't catch it. I remember him saying it. I remember the message, everything, and I remember him saying it, and I was just like, I wasn't even thinking he was talking about me. I had no clue, no clue the whole time. Never even thought it was me because it wasn't in my heart like that, not one bit, not one bit, not one bit. So it just started getting more, just I could feel the energy wasn't good anymore. So I'm pretty sure Dow had a lot to influence Rufus about this. I'm not sure positively. He can vouch for it if I'm right, if I'm wrong. I don't know. I have no idea. Unless it was just in Rufus's spirit. I have no idea. We never talked about it. Because by this time, I had lived at Straightway most of the time I was there. I was fed up. I was done. My spirit, my soul, was beaten down. I was tired. I was fed up. I didn't want to be there no more. I didn't want my sons or my wife to have to deal with it. But my wife was under the influence of Tao behind my back. So she started telling him stuff that we were talking about. And I didn't know how else. I didn't know how else to deal with it. I didn't know how else to deal with it. But we made jokes about it. We made fun of it. We like not jokes about it, but we would try to make humor out of the things he would do. How he would bash people, or how he'd get way more, and just the unfairness that he does, the favoritism. It's, if you're not a doll lover, you get treated like crap, like shit, straight shit. If you don't kiss his butt, you get treated like crap. And that's the honest truth. I'm not here to lie. I don't have anything to gain by any of this. Like I said, I don't talk to Pastor Rufus. I don't talk to nobody. I seen this message of Pastor Rufus and what happened to him. And everything came back to me how I was treated. And then I started hearing Ringo's messages and the truth. And just everything started coming back. Like, I never got to tell my side of the story. When I left there, Straightway, well, not, okay, hang on. He did a 2-hour blog, not Straightway, but Georgia. I'll explain in a second. But he did a blog talk about me and my sons. I'll get back to that in a minute. So it was getting a little hectic. I could feel like the energy and stuff like that just wasn't good no more. Not between me and him at all. Everybody else loved me, not him. One of the elders wasn't too fond because he was under the influence of Tao more. And I could see, like, one of the times at a feast, he looked at me and he goes, "I just want to punch you." He said it in a friendly way, but because he probably heard stuff behind what Tao was saying to him about the stuff I would say behind, and it wasn't Nothing I said was untrue, though. I never lied about anything. Not one time did I lie. Everything that I was complaining about, the money, how we were treated, the unfairness, all things ain't common between all of us. Everything that I said was true. Not one thing that I lied about. Was I complaining more than I should have? Probably. But you'd have to live through it and you would understand. That's the only thing I can say. I can't say anything more because I can't convince you of something you didn't live through or whatever. This is my story, my journey, what I went through. And I can only tell you how I felt about it or, and feel now about it. I'm healed now though. I'm doing good. I am. It took me a while, but I'm doing good. So anyways, Rufus ended up calling me one night, said, "Hey, we need we need someone skilled here back at the land." He asked me now, "Would you want to come back?" And I'm like, "Well, if it's, God's doing, I'm you know me, if I'm supposed to go there, that's where I want to go, like or whatever, So I don't know if Dal had him up to that or if Rufus even knew what was going on about this lady thing. And I don't think he did. I don't think he knew the whole story. I don't think nobody does. That's why I want to talk about it. I want to get it out. I want to explain. Like he said, there's two sides to every story. Nah, there's three. Mine, his, and the congregation, buddy. That's who I want to see this. The congregation. Not too many people live there that will talk or whatever. And like you said, most people don't because they don't have a voice. They're not in a position to. No one will listen to you, or he demonizes you right away. He did it to every person that left that community or was affiliated, even if they didn't live there, because most people don't live there. They just come and visit or whatever. But he would demonize them. Basically, they're going to hell. They're out of the faith. They're no longer within a year or two. They'll, or if that, they're going to go back to whatever heathen life they live or blah blah blah. Everybody, every single person that I know that was affiliated in my time, my experience there was demonized when they left. Not one person left on good terms. Not one. Mm-mm. Not one. Imagine that. So, me and my family, we got sent back to Georgia. Wasn't there very long. I'm not sure. Time frame. 3, 4, 5 months, maybe. I'm not sure really. I don't remember. By then I was checked out. There's nothing no one could have said to me at that time to make me change my mind of what I went through. The beat downs, the just behind my back stuff. Anyways. So, in Georgia, I was trying to do my thing, seeing if, I got sent to another guy's help to work out there for a little while. Talked to him a little bit. It was nice to get away and just get away for a little bit, So it was nice to visit him for a little bit. We got sent back and we had a brothers meeting. I was supposed to go back again. We had a brothers meeting over at the place I stayed at. Just the brothers. And all this information came from Dal, but Rufus was telling us. So Rufus gets to me and he tells me that Dal said, this is coming from Dal. Rufus didn't say this. Dal did. That doll basically said that I haven't grown spiritually the whole time I've been there. The whole time. I didn't say a word. I just sat there and didn't say a word. You know how much was going through my mind that I just wanted to hold my tongue and not say a word. Mind you, the whole time I was there, Dal never came to me. An elder never came to me. A brother never came to me to help me, to tell me, hey, I can see you're struggling. You need help? Not one. Not one. All I got was shitted on. Once my talents weren't, he had somebody to replace me. Okay, so, mind you, let me back it up real quick. I was done at that time. When he said that to me, I was done. I was making plans to leave. I was done. Contacted my daughter. She still lived in Michigan. That's where I'm from. That's where I live right now. Contacted her. She was helping come up with money as best as she can. There was a couple brothers that helped me as well. I helped with some money to help me move, pay for the U-Haul truck, get back here, try to get going a little bit. It did it. It was what I needed, man. And I thank you so much for it. You know, I'm grateful, because I would have been stuck, because you have no way. They take everything. You're supposed to give everything up. So you have no way to leave. You're stuck. You're stuck. So, but I had a phone because I was a brother. So I was texting and calling my daughter and brothers to, to set it all up or whatever. So I went to Elder Rufus. And I told him I was leaving. And the first word out of his mouth, at this time, the first word out of his mouth was, he looked at my wife and he goes, Dal's going to want to know what she thinks about this. Really? That was what he said to me. I'm not trying to dog Rufus. I don't know. But that's what he said to me. That's what his words were. So, I was over at the trailer one day and I seen my wife. She gets on the phone. She goes outside. So I went outside. Well, I happened to be outside. I seen my wife walking out the slider door on the phone. That's what happened. And I watched her walk out, walk down the side of the house, and sneak around the corner. I'm like, who the heck is she talking to? And why are you hiding? That's kind of an odd thing to do. And who are you talking to? Wonder who. Again, behind my back. That's exactly who she was talking to. She told me. She told me who. Can't lie about that one, Dal. So, again, I caught him behind my back talking to my wife again. So, me and my wife, when I had told Rufus, we had an agreement to leave. We were all leaving. Me, my wife, and my 2 sons. After that phone call, the next morning, My wife came up to me and told me she's not going with us. She's staying at Straightway. That's exactly what happened. You know what? One of the first things that Dal said when I came to visit the community, I didn't even live there yet. Nothing like that. It was when I first visited. One of his first things is, you don't have to worry about your wife here. Hmm. Okay, okay. Hmm. That's exactly what happened. So we had to sit down, me, my wife, and my sons, because she wasn't coming back with us. She wasn't leaving with us. So we had to sit down with my sons and have a meeting who they wanted to stay with. That was tough. That was tough. That was a hard thing to deal with, you know. You weren't expecting none of that. I wasn't expecting none of that, you know. Caught me off guard. Um, so anyways, they both chose to come with me. Made me feel good. Would you get them? Made me feel good, but I was so hurt, distraught, confused, didn't know what to think. Like, I'm losing my wife right now. I don't know what to, like, I had no idea. Only thing I could think of to do, because the tension was so high after I said that, was to leave. I needed to leave now. So I went to Rufus and I asked for some help. Mind you, when I went there, I gave everything I had. It wasn't a ton, but I gave everything that I had. Everything. And I wasn't asking for a ton. I was just asking for a little help to help me and my sons so we could leave. And, have a place to stay and eat, food, help. My response was no. No. Cal said I can't, basically. I know he wanted to help me, but he couldn't. Dal wasn't going to let him help me. I know he would have, though. I know he would have. I seen it in his eyes. I could tell. So, on the way, I just got fed up. I couldn't deal with it no more. I just told my daughter, what it is it is. We got enough. We'll make it work. I don't care. What we got, it'll be enough. So I went back to Rufus and I said, um, basically, I'm gone. I'm done. I want to leave now. I have enough money or whatever. And he was like shocked. He was surprised that I came up with the money that fast. He was like surprised. I'm sure Dow was too. They weren't expecting that because I already had Plan A involved. They were Plan B. Well, Dow was, um, and I wasn't asking for buy me a home. $500 would have helped. $400, something. $100, something to help me and my sons. I worked there the whole time. I got tons of praise on how good I worked there. Tons of praise by him on how good I worked there. That's not what the story was when I left though. Wasn't even close to the same story. I never listened to the blog talk. Rufus may be able to vouch for this, but brothers told me about what some of the things that he said. And I basically told him I don't care. I don't care what he's got to say. I didn't listen. And I've never listened to a message until just recently. Two short little ones, only because of what you guys got going on right now. So on the way to get the U-Haul truck, Rufus, me and him were talking, and he looked right at me and he goes, I just want to tell you something. Don't listen to anything that's said once you leave here. Do what you got to do, you know, basically just be happy, whatever, but don't listen to any. So he already knew that I was going to, he already seen it coming. He seen it himself. Because why would he tell me that? Don't worry about anything that's said about you. That's exactly what he said to me. Because it was coming. It was coming. Huh. Sure was. So basically, we left. And I got a call about a blog talk that he did about me and my sons, telling me how basically I'm wicked. And my sons have the same spirit. My sons have the same spirit. My youngest was 11 years old, and I think my oldest was 16 at the time. They have my wicked spirit, my children, because they chose to come with me, because they didn't like how they were getting treated. You can't have kids or playtime there. It's all about work. Work, work, work. Even the children. That's all we did. Like, I'm a family man. I don't have much time to spend with my wife because he expects you to study all the time, like all the time, work all the time. Okay, I get you have to work. Get you need to learn and grow. I understand all that. But there's got to be time with your children. There's got to be time with your wife. Um, Not just the little bit of time you give us. Or we always had something to do afterwards or this or that or and that's good. I don't mind certain things, but we're not meant to be under no dictatorship. Not like that. You don't follow no man. Mm-mm. It's good to guide, help, teach, but follow? Nah, not me. I'll never follow another man again. I learned. I learned. So after I left, he did the blog talk. Um, a brother of mine contacted me and said, "Hey, did you see the video?" I was like, "I don't watch that stuff no more. I'm done. No, I don't pay attention." He's like, basically, he's dogging you, and the reason is pretty much that you got basically the way you were treated or whatever um, was that you wanted that sister, you wanted that married woman. I'm like, huh? So I started putting everything together. This was after I left, though. I'm like, so that's why she came in the trailer and said all that stuff to me. And I'm sitting there confused, like, what are you talking about? She assumed that I wanted her because I asked that question. But that's wasn't it at all. And she told Dow that. So without even questioning me, asking my side of the story or anything, I was accused of it behind my back. But it was all behind my back. Every bit of it was behind my back. And that's when he started talking to my wife and this and that. And so it was the reason that I was treated the way I was because I wanted a married woman because she was confused by a question I asked. Hmm. That's what happened. Hmm. That's why I got treated so shitty because no one ever thought to ask what's your side of the story? What happened? Hmm. And guess what? Shortly after her divorce, shortly after her divorce, like it started immediately. He was courting her and wifed her. Dow did. The same woman that I got accused by him behind my back that I wanted. Who wanted her? Who ended up with her? I heard you say, Ringo, that he was directing or projecting what was in his heart towards the brother. That's exactly what he did to me. He wanted her, and he assumed that I did too. And you ain't getting her. I want her. But I'm going to do it like secretly, kind of. That's what happened. So I lost my wife. We separated. Never got back together. We talk now. We're friends, but it's not the same anymore. Everything changed. My sons still live with me. They still live with me. So yeah, it was it was a crazy journey. Took a lot of healing. Changing my mindset. Learning, unlearning to relearn. I hope this helps somebody. I really do. I'm not about no drama. I don't want no drama. I don't even know if I'll pay attention to anybody really after this or I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But once I seen that and I seen the spirit that Pastor Rufus has, this man is telling the truth. If you cannot see that man is telling the truth by his spirit and his soul, you can't discern. You can see it all over him. That's what. I like to see that though. I like to see that. I like to see people doing good. He's not in, the situation, I get it, but his heart, hmm, proud of you. I'm proud of you. Because it's hard to get through that. It is. It's very hard. I just want to say thank you to Ringo and whoever else gets this out there. This is my experience, what I had with Straightway Doll. And mind you, I'm talking about Doll, not the others. It's Doll. That man is wicked. I don't talk about bad about nobody. I try to hold my tongue because I know I ain't perfect. I still got growing to do. And I know. And I'm okay with that. And I don't mind it because once you learn your lessons, you can grow, you can move on, and it makes you happy. It makes you become a better person, a better man, a better dad. I still teach my children. They're all grown. I have 3 children, and I'm still teaching them to this day lessons, stuff I'm learning and growing. I'm still teaching them because I care. I care a lot. care about people, and I care about souls. And this man has hurt a lot of people, and he doesn't care. And I just don't want to see nobody feel like that no more or go through it. So I wish you all so much blessings and so much love. And I just hope you can see the truth through my words, through my actions. You can see my spirit through my eyes, my soul. That I speak the truth. So, with that said, I'm sure I might have missed certain things or certain stories that I wanted to say or speak on, but I got the main part out, what I wanted to say, and a little bit more understanding of what goes on the land. His work ethic. Oh, real quick. By the way, let me get to that real fast, real quick, and I'll end this. Um, what he does is this is how this works. The brothers do majority of all the work, and I'm not lying. He'll come out and make a video, work with us for a few minutes, and then he leaves. That's his work. He's got to go back and do the ministry. But as only reason, and I agree with, I understand. You have to study and learn a book, and feed the people, the flock, whatever, however you want to say it. I get all that. I get that. But you're portraying it like you're out there working, holding up your hands with all these calluses and all that. You make a video, put on a show, and then you go and leave. That's the truth. Straightway. That's what happens. That's Mr. Dow's work ethic. I was told by him, out of his mouth, that I put in all the work before you all got here, and I've been doing this and all that before you guys got here. I don't get deliverance because I did all that before I got here, all this and that. He always had an excuse. He already did it all. He don't need to do it no more. That's how that works. You just stop. You don't need to grow no more. You don't need to. I thought we continue to grow, learn. That's how we become wiser and wiser. That's a wise man that can be humble enough to continue to learn and grow. Not one that wants to dominate and control. That's not a wise man. It's a cult leader. That's what that is, a cult leader. I don't consider him a pastor. That's why you didn't hear me say that in this video. A pastor wouldn't teach, guide, help the people like that. That is not a pastor to me. Not at all. He's not no shepherd. Not in my eyes. I've seen way too much. And you may have a different opinion. And that's fine. It's okay. It doesn't, this is my story. This is my story. This is what I went through. So I live there. I experienced, I have a right for my opinion and my truth to be spoken. And I don't care what he says about this video. I don't care what he tries to say about me, that I back my heathen ways and blah, blah, this and blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care. Truth is truth, and I'm about the truth. That's one thing about me. I'm about the truth. I don't call myself Israel no more. I don't call myself a Christian. I don't title myself. You know what I call myself? Or I'm spiritual. and I have him. I'm spiritual. I don't need anybody. I don't need to follow a man. No, I learned that. Straightway taught me that. That's one lesson, a hard lesson. One hard, hell of a lesson to learn. I learned it though, and I ain't about to learn it again. I'm not about to repeat that lesson in my life. I've evolved from that. I've been set free. My heart has been set free. I'm a free man. I'm happy. I'm excited about life. I'm growing and I'm learning every day. And it all comes from inside of me. Every bit of it comes from inside. It's all in us. Thank you again for letting my story get out. If you play this, like I said, I lived there from 2011 to 2015. I lived there pretty much. You can probably go back and see videos. I'm not skilled in that area. You guys are. You are. You're very good at what you do, I see. Very good. You could probably go back if you're interested or just want to play the video. However you choose fit to use it, you're more than welcome to use it anyway. So I hope this helps. I hope this saves a soul from going through anything like that, because we deserve much better. Much, much better. Much more compassion and love. That's for sure. So I hope you feel it, my love, and the truth in my message and my story. And my journey will happen. So blessings to you all. And thank you again.